Hey, Shalom, Akyam. Kal Halalim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Waharakhakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from. And salutations and blessings to you elect, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the 1/3. So I'm just on the road in the spirit. I'm just meditating on a few things. I'm not sure what this lesson will be called, but you know, we got to get this truth while we can. I was just meditating on the fact that, you know, this YouTube era, this YouTube phase, it's almost gone, you know. And what I mean by that is us uploading videos, uploading lessons, and receiving the live show lessons from the apostles. That's almost at an end, you know. And I was actually meditating on a time period where YouTube was deleting a lot of our videos, man. And the apostles pretty much, they stopped uploading on YouTube for a while. And they actually purchased their own domain, right? It was called GMS Tube, right? It was actually called GMS Tube, which some of you, you know, you brothers out there that go a little way back, you remember that. And the reason I was meditating on that is because there was a person that was a family member of a brother in the camp, and he listened to us. He came to camp, and I tell you, when the apostles stopped uploading on YouTube and switched to GMS Tube, by the way, the only way to access the only way you could access the GMS Tube was you needed a username and you needed a password. And the password, you didn't make your own password, you were given a password. There's an access code, actually, and that was given to the first in command and to the second, I believe, of each camp, and it will be up to them to give it to other brothers as access, I believe. That's how it worked. And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember the exact timing, but this is around 2012, 13, around there. Maybe 11. I don't know, not 11, 12, around 20, maybe late 2011, 2012, 13, around that time period. And it wasn't even for a year. It was for a few months though, I believe. Because as soon as you uploaded a video on YouTube, it was right away, you know, not even a strike, but it was taken down. And actually, yeah, you received a strike, or they might just take your channel down. So it was all hell. YouTube was really on, especially the brothers in GMS. And we're coming into that time where it's not going to be a game, you know. Your channels, it's not even about the channel. You're not even going to be able to upload content, because never mind human review or people flagging you or reporting you, you're going to have AI, okay? You're going to have AI, which AI is already monitoring and gathering data. And the job of the AI is going to be to flag you. As soon as you say a few keywords or a couple keywords, it's going to register, oh, you're an extremist, or whatever they label you. So there's gonna, we're in that time where there's not gonna be no more access, okay? In Canada right now, they're passing, I believe they passed the bill where if you're on Reddit, for example, or they're trying to pass the bill, right? You have an app called Reddit, which people write things, but people upload videos and pictures as well. And if you try to access a picture that's there's an acronym NSFW, I believe, which is pretty much like a graphic image, like somebody got deleted or you know, some image that's 18 plus, right? if you try to click it, which now all it is blurry, and you got to click it, right? And it'll show you the image or video. But what they're doing is they're passing a bill where in order for you to access the NSFW, if I'm correct on that acronym, those kind of images or videos, you're gonna have to send in and verify your identification, right? You're gonna have to send in an ID and maybe a quick 30-second video of a screen of a facial recording, you know. And that's just, you know, that's a small thing, but this is where we're headed, you know. And that person that was amongst us when the apostles stopped uploading and they had a GMS tube, this man came to me personally, and this man's like, yo, brother, he's like, I can't sleep, you know, I can't sleep at night. I always watch the apostles, you know, they're so, you know, they're very edifying, and I get, you know, I need to watch them. You know, he was trying to get the password, you know, and I believe I gave it to him because he was really desperate, to be honest. You know, I wouldn't normally give it to anybody because, you know, it's really for men that was in the camp. And this was I believe the in classes and the highways, right? Because the apostles, they would do a in class before camp, and then they go to camp, right? And they're on the highways. And this man was like, I looked him in his eyes, and he's desperate. And I can only imagine people that took the apostles for granted, people that took the Israelites in general for granted, especially the GMS. In that day, when that shit's unplugged, what are you gonna do in that day? What the fuck are you gonna do in that day? That's why the book of Jeremiah says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found." Okay, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. That's found in the book of Jeremiah, because we're coming into that time where the plug is gonna, the cable is gonna get pulled, man. The plug is gonna get unplugged. You're not gonna be plugged in anymore, right? I just got done watching the Apostles live ministry, you know, and I watch it weekly, man. You know, the Wadi Halbashim Yawshai, because these are very spiritual men, and it's very edifying. For some people, it's very repetitive. They think the apostles are base men, you know, like certain men that I'm not even gonna mention. You know, he's no longer amongst us anyway. But yo, in that day, a lot of people are gonna have that, oh shit, you know, and it's gonna really hit you in the spirit, man. And you better hope that you accumulated enough knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that the book of Isaiah 33 can play out in your life in that time. Because, brother, that's gonna be real life, man. No more internet, okay? To log on to these places, you're gonna need to have that, you know what? You're gonna have to have facial recognition, biometrics, you know? So in that day where people are like, yo, where are the elders? Where are the apostles of GMS? Where are the brothers? Where are the prophets? You know, I'm going to your channel and it's just giving me that arrow with the circle. Try again. Refresh the page. Error loading. That's what it's going to show. Right? And that's terrifying. A lot of people take this thing for granted. Some of you people take it for a joke. A lot of you people take it for a joke. Right? Some of you in the truth take it for granted. This is very precious, man. You know? Don't you know that this is actually worth money? These guys that are selling you these other, you know, these other Israelites selling you these courses and Hebrew names and prayers, you know? These guys are jokers, man. Coming up with new doctrines, you know, bugging you out. Talking about there's another 1,000 years. You know, the Russians are going to make a comeback. Right? The men of GMS, starting with our elder apostles, we've been warning you about the MOTB like a broken fucking record, man. like a broken record, man. So we're in that time, man, where that YouTube phase, that YouTube era is almost out. We're not going to be on YouTube very, very much longer. We're not going to be on the highways very much longer. Another law they passed here in Toronto is you can't have any street protests or demonstrations within, 50 meters of a school, a church, or a religious center in general. They're slowly phasing out, these so-called civil liberties, freedom of expression, right? Freedom of expression gives us the right to make these videos, to go on the highways, to say the things that we say, filtered through the scriptures, of course, and applying Matthews 10 and 16, right? As Yahushua said, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, right? We're not fighters, we're not brawlers, we're not training, we're not training in the woods on the weekend, okay? We're not doing axe throwing, all right? We're not doing judo, all right? Jiu-jitsu, stick fighting. All right, we are actually very spiritual through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And like I said, that feed that the apostles are giving us, man, that many of us were nursed on when we came into truth. We were born again and we were nursed via the apostles. As the scripture says in Isaiah, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? They that are weaned from the breast and drawn from the milk, roughly paraphrasing, right? You got to get weaned from the breast, man. You got to get this milk. And the apostles are never out of style like some of you think, or out of tune. Those men can go from repetitive basics, which is always good. You always need to be repetitive in the basics, and you need to know the basics. Sometimes you brush up on Genesis 1, Genesis 2, the basics, hell, virgin doctrine, reincarnation, because time and time again people come up and they try to refute it. And then other times the apostles go way deep and people are lost, So just like Job said, that he will maintain his integrity before the Lord. Integrity, that's where you get the word integer in math, which is a whole number. It's not a fraction. It's a whole number. And that's what perfect means. It means to be complete or whole. How are you complete? You have a 360 degree defense, as the scriptures say. Put on the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith, the armor, right? So you can resist the wiles of the devil, man. Because as the scripture says in Ephesians 6, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, man. Don't you know there's curses being put upon the elect, upon the brothers in the camps? There's demons and all kinds of things being summoned. Especially now, because this man knoweth that he hath a short time, right? And like I said, I'm meditating on that day where you go on YouTube and it's not there, bro. Your channel's not there. Your videos are gone. You try to, you get pretty much, Lord's will, we get the order from Apostle R, say, look, we're done. There's no more highways. Okay. However that situation works out, you may not need that order because shit's just gonna go left. Really right in prophecy, but you know what I mean, right? I'm just meditating on that day, man. What the fuck a lot of you people are gonna do? You by the way Israelite camps, you so-called affiliates, associates that don't really check in. You think you kind of know, you kind of think you know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on. You don't know how the body actually operates, the ministry, different members, brotherly love. You kind of just see what you see on camera, and you don't really know what really happens behind the scenes, man. What kind of charity, faith, love, goes behind the camera, right? There's a lot of things, man. There's judgment, there's discipline, rebuke, right? Charity, as I said before. So in that day, man, you scoffers out there, what are you gonna do, man? I don't know. But as the scriptures say, don't inquire how the ungodly shall be punished. Right, in the book of Second Ezra, the angel told Ezra, but seek out the glory for thee, and such as be like thee, which is like-minded men, which is so important to be around like-minded men. Why the fuck would I want to be around people that are trying to go to America and make money? You know, if you're in Canada, oh, I want to go to America. Trump's making America rich. You know, why would I want to be among people that are talking about, yo, you should invest in this real estate? You know, in the next 3 years, the projection is it's gonna skyrocket. Yo, you know, you should invest in this cryptocurrency. You know, in this token. Bugged out people, man. Bugged out people that can't sense that the fucking battery's draining on this queendom, on this whore known as Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, the battery's almost. Hey, this place is done, man. So once that cable is pulled, that plug is out. Right? Hey, you know, I'm not gonna rant on. I was just meditating on that. I was meditating that, you know, that picture in my mind, man. That shock and awe, and even it's gonna shock us in the flesh. But guess what? Wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of that times. We've been programming this. The Spirit has been programming this in our minds, in our conscious, our spirit, for how many years we've been in the truth. You know, it's famine of the word, famine of the word. This thing's almost done. There's gonna be no more truth soon out there. So get it while you can. Get it while you can, man. You know, add faith, man. Right? Put it in overdrive. Seek the Lord 10 times more. Anyway, kahalalim la Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah wa Shalom.